What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Team Solemn Circus video. Today we're going over 4th place winner Ethan Vincent's deck list today. He was playing Tearlaments. He wasn't able to give me the deck profile, so instead we're going to be going over a DB list. Pretty standard, a little bit of some cool stuff I'll like to mention in a bit. But starting off, we have the 2 Rhino Hearts. Pretty cool. I think that, you definitely don't need to have 3 of them for the normal summon. Then you have the 1 of each of them of the tier cards. You can only play 1 of them. Then we got the 3 cash tier. This is like our tier cash. That's essentially just like your best extender because now you don't have any of these. So you're able to just like summon them out or as well as get them in the graveyard. Then you essentially mill 2 more. Then we have the traps, 3 Sulic as well as a 1 Meta Noise. I want to say this is pretty standard now. I'm not too sure about Tearlaments, but I know that Sulic is probably one of the best ones. And then obviously the 1 Grief and the 1 Scream. I think the 1 Scream is a little bit weird. I want to say that the people are playing Scream at 2 and the Grief only at 1. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, maybe the fact that he wants to play more traps, and then traps he can banish off the Kashtira, or he can banish the trap off Kashtira to summon itself out, and then Grief can add it back, maybe, having some like the more recursion stuff. Another 3 planets, which interesting to me is that we're not playing any other planets. We're not playing any of the tier planets, which to me is a little bit wild. And I believe the reason why is because he doesn't own them. I know he doesn't own them. He's at from my locals. But maybe if he did, he'd change the list up a little bit. Then we have the 1, terraforming, obviously, to get search for your planets. Then we have the 1 King of the Swamp. So the King of the Swamp is interesting because it does, everyone knows that we're only playing 1 of it, which is weird. But it does recur itself. And we are playing the Grapha and the Rucolos here. So, 2 targets for that King of the Swamp there. Then you're playing the Diviner, only 1, which does combo with 1 of each of the, I don't know what you call them, the Ishizu cards, I guess. Then we are on the Shadal package here. This was very consistent throughout a lot of the regionals here. We saw a few decks playing it, purely as well as the Shadal here. Getting the Winda out, which is very nice. And then we have the 3 Nessies here and the 1 Mothman. I don't know how I feel about this. I know they were talking to one of the other Tearlament players in the room, and he didn't know if this was the play, but it ended up working out for him, getting the 4th place finish there. Very nice. It is an Aqua, so I guess you can return it with the, like to put it back to make your copies of like Kaleido Heart and stuff like that. I don't know how good it is, but I guess it is also a free discard. So if you have any of these in hand or other stuff, you can just discard it and get maybe a plus. Having your Shadals in hand as well. The 1 Mothman, being able to draw and search. You have the 2 Fenrirs, searches for your cash or itself, not too bad. Also, just be able to put so much pressure on the board. And cash is prevalent at our locals, but there's only 3 cash players at this regionals. It's a little bit of a weird one there. A lot of people are playing the Chimera deck, which is the most represented deck in the room, I guess. If we want a little sneak peek to the recap there. Then we have the 3 Ash Blossoms and the 3 Imperms. This is a super standard in most decks you guys will see. If you're going to be playing 6 hand traps, your chances are going to be playing these ones. We do see like the Droll on the side there that could be replaced by the Ash, but just respecting a lot of the decks, and Ash being like a 1-for-1 is pretty nice. And then we have the 2 Foolish Burial Goods here as well to top off with the Foolish. So Foolish Burial Goods, stopping those trap cards are pretty nice. Something I like to mention is we're not seeing any Abcalone and the Schism here. So you're going to simply just rely on the 2 Shadal monsters here for the Winda there. So maybe not being like the focus of the deck. Moving on into the side or the extra deck here, we have the Rucolos standard. Same thing with the Kaleido Heart standard. We saw the Shadal stuff, so we're going to see the Winda. And then the Grapha, obviously part of the end board with the good old King of the Swamp. Then we see Draco Spelia. I think this is like absolutely standard all the way to like Spring, dump your Merly, dump your, I think that's really it at this point. You don't really want to dump the Diviner now that you don't have anything reborn. But we do have Cross Sheep here. So Cross Sheep can actually reborn it, which is interesting. Like, we are playing, spoiler alert, we are playing the Bahamut Shark, so we can actually go for the Cross Sheep, summon back to level 4, and then, overlay with those and just get it off. We have the Rhino Heart onto the field here, which is kind of cool. The Barone, because we are playing the copy of Diviner, so, it can turn into a level 6, and then you can just make a level, or link, or what am I saying, a Synchro 10 here. You got to pretty much have to play it, and you do have some of those flex spots, as we see. Redoer, extremely standard, but, it does detach for effect, so you will be getting those tier cards. Then we have the Zeus here, and this is where we're going to be getting into some weird stuff. So we have Dracosack. I think this is just a play around some of those cards, like the skill drain, just a bunch of decks like that. Like, just being able to just do some crazy stuff. It does tribute for cost, so it'll be able to. I'm just getting rid of like those floodgates, I guess, could also be very nice. And you do have the Kashtira Tearlaments as well as the Fenrir. So maybe if you summon it out and you want to go for like a big XYZ play to punch over something and then Zeus, you can do that. Then we're playing the Bahamut Shark. So Bahamut Shark is strictly to summon out the Totally Awesome, which serves as a negate, which this deck does not really make. It either makes the Rukulos or the Grapha, sometimes a little bit both, and the Trickster Belly here. But we really do struggle against like a bunch of like random decks. So, Totally Awesome can really come up, and being able to dump the Merly here to also, I think it also can add back the Merly there. You can target one water. Yes, you can just add back any of these as well, which is pretty nice. But if you want, you can also like send Merly to negate, and I think Merly gets its effect. It doesn't send for cost. No, it does send for cost. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate. And then finally, we have the Chair Beanie here. So this is for Havness and King of the Swamp, I guess. I don't actually know how you make this. I guess no. Actually, I have no clue. I don't really know, because this is like the weirdest pick to me, because we're not playing anything like, if you summon Havness, I guess, and what are you gonna do? Normal summon Ash, and then send King of the Swamp, but there's really nothing to do. We don't see any polys in this deck either, so that's why we're only seeing the one of the King of the Swamps. But like, if you're getting a Havness on the field, then you're not really doing very much. There's nothing really you can dump off the Chair Beanie there, and you don't want to dump Ash. Or like King of the... I guess if you want to, you can dump King of the Swamp. But King of the Swamp doesn't do anything, is the issue there. But nonetheless, it's still cool. I guess maybe if you want to like shuffle back and then dump, but can't really see it, to be honest, why you'd want to play that. Now I'm going to the side deck here. Book of Moons, super standard, one of the best cards in the game currently, so we're not going to say very much. Dark Ruler No More, this deck does struggle going second, so we're going to see that. And we see the Duster as well as the Lightning Storm, especially in that back row. We did expect some of those decks being up. Labyrinth always shows up at some regionals, as well as like Runic. Droll, one of the best hand traps here. We're not seeing any Nibirus, but we are seeing the Baldrake and the Sorenir here. I don't know why we're playing Sorenir over Magnamuts. But I know that Baldrake is very good in this deck, because you can just like send one that you have on the field, as well as you have the ability to like fight against those, like, I guess, Bestials. Like Dragon Link was represented. I think there was like 4 Dragon Link players. We did see one of them top as well. Shout out to Carter there. But yeah, you definitely need to like have some kind of game plan against other Bestials, and you can't just rely on your 2 shuffler backs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's not as good as the regular videos here that we can see with the other stuff, but if you guys enjoyed nonetheless, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. Peace.